Hey guys! So now that the tenties have come to a close and I've documented my top 100 movies of the decade, I'll pop a link up there if you want to check that series out. There were 10 films this past decade which were crowned with the accolade of Best Picture at the Academy Awards. A total of 88 films were nominated for Best Picture over the past 10 years, and 10 of them were selected as the Best Picture winners of their respective years. So for fun, I'm going to look at all 10 of the Best Picture winners and rank them. Before we get started, if you guys are new to the channel and want more movie and TV content just like this, then please consider hitting the subscribe button. Help me to grow my channel by hitting the like button, and let me know in the comment section down below your personal rankings of the Best Picture winners from the last decade. I will be taking into account how the films have been received and also how they've aged. I will also state if I believe the correct film won Best Picture that year, and if it wasn't the right choice, I will say which film I think deserved to win. And remember guys, this is just one bloke's opinion. If you agree with me or disagree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. What would you have picked to win a certain year? How would you rank them? Right, kicking off the countdown, at number 10 we have my least favourite Best Picture winner of the decade. Can you guess what it is? It's Peter Farrelly's Green Book. While being a perfectly pleasant yarn, Green Book's win for Best Picture is a perfect example of the Academy playing it safe and history repeating itself. The racial tension road trip movie was a big crowd pleaser, but we'd already seen a film like this win before back in 1990, Driving Miss Daisy. So its win for Best Picture has nothing of value or nothing new to say. It's disappointing that in a year with Spike Lee's Black Klansman and Ryan Coogler's Black Panther also up for Best Picture, that the Academy went with something as fluffy and by the numbers as Green Book. Do I think it should have won? That is a hard no. There are about 6 other movies that I would have picked ahead of Green Book to win Best Picture. My picks would have either been the dark comedy, female-led The Favourite, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, or Alfonso Cuarón's deeply personal Roma. There were so many movies nominated that year that would have made a statement. We could have had the first ever superhero movie with Black Panther. We could have had the first ever foreign language Best Picture winner with Roma. We could have had an LGBTQ movie like The Favourite win. Or we could have simply just had a film that deals with racism but actually has something to say about the current state of racial issues in America with Black Klansman winning. Or even Black Panther again. Instead, we got a safe copy and paste feel-good buddy movie with an outdated message about racism, directed by the guy who did Shallow Hal and Movie 43. Choices, Academy. Choices. Right next up at number 9, we have the very first Best Picture winner of the decade. It's Tom Hooper's The King's Speech. I should say now that I don't actually hate any of the Best Picture winners. There's just some which I don't think were the correct choice comparatively to the other films that were nominated that year. The King's Speech being one of them. The King's Speech is your typical feel-good historical biopic about a historical figure, in this case King George VI, and his journey to overcome his crippling speech impediment. It's an engaging film with some great performances, particularly from Colin Firth, but The King's Speech is one of those sappy, crowd-pleasing dramas designed with the intention of winning Oscars. And it worked! It followed the recipe for award season to the letter. Historical biopic, period drama, vehicle for an actor to shine, and it's a film about someone conquering adversity. And the Academy loved it. They showered it with nominations. They gave it 12 noms and it won 4. That's not a bad haul. And that's why it bothers me that this film won, because it's an assembly line movie. Again, it's a very safe and predictable pick. Should it have won? Again, it's a big fat no for me. If the Academy had the gumption to give it to an animated film, then it would have been so satisfying to see Toy Story 3 win it, but the Academy has never given an animated film or a sequel, apart from Godfather Part 2, Best Picture. Christopher Nolan's Inception has stood the test of time, but it might have been too sci-fi, too smart, or even too blockbustery for the Academy to pick it. But the film that arguably would have been the best pick for this year is David Fincher's The Social Network, aka the Facebook movie. It was all about the rise of social media in the early 10s, so it was very topical and timely. It was critically adored and audiences loved it. And from a hindsight perspective, it's also aged the best. People still love this movie today, and people still talk about this movie today. The King's Speech, however, only seems to get brought up when people want to talk about the atrocity of Tom Hooper's other film, Cats. And that's shade. Coming in at number 8, we have the Best Picture win that felt like a consolation prize for Ben Affleck after he was shut out of the Best Director category story that year, it's of course Argo. I really love Argo. I think it's a well-paced, funny, and at times nerve-wracking thriller. I also think it's extremely well crafted by director Ben Affleck. He should have got a nomination for directing. However, as much as I love Argo, it's not what I would call a Best Picture film. It's a serviceable and enjoyable movie, but its legacy fizzled out so fast after it won Best Picture. When it comes to the film that should have won that year, it was a pretty good year for nominees. You had films like Lincoln, 0-30, Django Unchained, and more, Life of Pi. They were all up for nomination. My personal pick would have been Django Unchained to win because I think it's so damn entertaining, but again, I don't know if it's a Best Picture film. The best choice in hindsight probably would have been Catherine Bigelow's intense war film 0-30. What with the assassination of Osama bin Laden 2 years prior to this film's release, it was a very urgent and timely film, and it was an important, significant cultural moment for America at the time, so it probably would have been the best choice. However, it feels like a missed opportunity. Next up at number 7, we have Michael Hanekes' love letter to the silent era of Hollywood, The Artist. If there's one thing that the Academy loves, it's a movie about movie making, or Hollywood. Another reason why Argo was given a boost because of its Hollywood saves the day subplot. The Artist is an absolutely charming movie. It's hard not to fall in love with this film. It's a true testament to storytelling and how you can say so much with no dialogue whatsoever. And comparatively to all the other Best Picture winners of the decade, it does stand out stylistically speaking, because it's in black and white and it's a silent film. So in that aspect, The Artist is very unique. It's the only Best Picture nominee in the entire decade to be a silent film. Do I think it should have won? I'm gonna say yes. I think this was the right choice. It is a bit Oscar baity, but it's a celebration of the art of cinema and it lovingly respects its roots and also shows how far the medium has come. When you look at the Best Picture nominees for that year, they've mostly been forgotten about, apart from Terrence Malick's The Tree of Life, which was divisive upon release, but has gained more love and appreciation more time that's passed. However, I still give it to The Artist because it's universally loved and very unique. Okay, coming up at number 6, we have one of the few fantasy films ever to take home the gold. It's Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water. I love The Shape of Water. It's such a beautiful movie. It's a genre blend of sci-fi, B-movie horror, adventure, romance, it's got it all. I think it's a very worthy recipient of Best Picture. However, 2018 was such a stacked year for Best Picture nominees. 3 Billboards, Dunkirk, Call Me By Your Name, Get Out, Lady Bird, so many amazing movies. Any one of them would have been a worthy Best Picture winner. But what should have won? Oh, gun in my head, it would either be Lady Bird or Get Out. They would have meant more to history. In a clinch, I would probably give it to Jordan Peele's social satire about white liberal racism, because Get Out was one of the definitive films of the decade. It was original and it really said a lot about where we are in society right now. But the fact that Get Out was even in the Best Picture race is a win in itself. It's called progress. But Guillermo del Toro's wistful interspecies romance is far from a conventional Best Picture winner, even if there is an ode to cinema vibe that the Academy can't help but gobble up like an amphibian creature gobbling up hard-boiled eggs. Right, halfway there. Coming in at number 5, we have a film which seems to divide film Twitter. It's Alejandro Innaratu's Birdman, or The Unexpected Ignorance of Virtue. Just had to put it in there. Again, this is another film that the Academy could obviously get behind, a satire of the world of show business, and no stone goes unturned. Theatre, superhero movies, egocentric actors, art critics, even the notions of celebrity. It's all very relatable stuff for the Academy. But I really appreciate Birdman. It's a Best Picture winner that reflects a significant shift in the entertainment industry. What with franchise Marvel movies dominating the box office, as well as washed-up has-been actors looking for redemption on Broadway, its one-take illusion avoids being gimmicky and gives the viewer a dreamlike experience. But do I think it should have won? Its biggest competition that year was Richard Linklater's Boyhood, which many thought would win, and I do agree that would have been a worthy winner. My personal favourite movie of that year, though, was Whiplash. But I think all 3 of those films would have made a good Best Picture winner. I'm happy with Birdman winning. I like what it has to say, but this is one of those years where we'll have to wait and see if time is kind to Birdman. Let's see in 10 years' time, will people still be talking about Birdman, Boyhood, or Whiplash? Then we'll see who the true winner of that year was. Coming in at number 4, we have Steve McQueen's essential slavery drama, 12 Years a Slave. I've literally only seen this movie once, and that's because I found it so hard to watch the first time so once is enough, but I know how powerful and how important this movie is. Should it have won? I'm saying yes. At the time, I was rooting for Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity to win, but while Gravity was a huge technical achievement, the benefit of hindsight is now I see 12 Years a Slave was the true and deserving Best Picture winner. It's a way more important film about American history and doesn't hold back on its detailing of the unflinching ugliness of American history. It really was the true winner of that year. If anything else had won, time wouldn't have been kind to it. Yeah, 12 Years a Slave was the right choice. Next up at number 3, we have an instance where, despite the odds being stacked against it, the Academy, for once, managed to get it right. It's Tom McCarthy's Spotlight. 2016 was one of the years where the race was so close. Its two closest competitors were Alejandro Innaratu's The Revenant and Adam McKay's The Big Short. Many people were predicting that Adam McKay's film about the financial crisis would be victorious. But McCarthy's gripping drama about the journalist who discovered the Catholic Church's mass cover-up of child molestations ended up clinching it, and rightfully so. While it would have been fun to see a film like Mad Max Fury Road defy the odds and take home Best Picture, but having an unglamorous but powerful film like Spotlight win actually means something. It's just solid, well-tailored filmmaking. It was definitely the right choice. Way to go, Academy! Coming in at number 2, we have the film that almost wasn't crowned Best Picture. Yes, that's right, I'm talking about the envelope mix-up when La La Land was crowned Best Picture for a grand total of 90 seconds until it was revealed that Moonlight actually won Best Picture. It's a moment that will live in infamy, but nevertheless, it was still a satisfying moment to see a film about a black gay man win over a film about actors making it in Hollywood, which is a film that the Academy would usually gobble up. This is one of the few occasions where the Academy indisputably made the right call. La La Land won the most Oscars of the night, but the real winner was Moonlight. In lieu of the hashtag Oscars So White campaign, as well as the Academy starting to diversify its membership in hopes of reflecting a more diverse, open and inclusive set of films to honour, Moonlight's win for Best Picture represents a pivotal shift in the Academy history. When an independent LGBTQ film about a black boy wins, everybody wins. It's another step for progress. It meant something to the history books. The movie itself was a masterpiece, and as much as I love La La Land, and I wouldn't have minded seeing it win Best Picture at the time, Moonlight really was the right choice, and history will agree with me. And last but not least, we have a Best Picture winner, which most of you will know can do no wrong in my eyes. It's the most recent Best Picture recipient. It's of course Bong Joon-ho's Parasite. Talk about ending the decade with a bang. Some might say it's premature to put Parasite at number 1 because it hasn't had a lot of time to age, but I just don't see Parasite aging poorly. Everyone loves this film. It rightfully won Best Picture and made history doing so by being the first non-English speaking film to win. It was a landmark win and a game changer for the Academy Awards. Its victory wasn't a guarantee either. It had stiff competition from Sam Mendes' 1917 and Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It had its debut at the Cannes Film Festival almost a year ago, so it wasn't the freshest nominee in the Academy's minds, and the fact that it was in Korean put it at a major disadvantage. It's a watershed win, and it's opened the door for other foreign language films to win Best Picture in the future. And that's why it gets number 1 spot. But as always, guys, this is just one bloke's opinion. I want to hear from you. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? How would you rank the Best Picture winners of the past decade? Were there any films that should have won a certain year that didn't? Whatever your thoughts or opinions, be sure to let your voice be heard in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to follow me on social media, Twitter or Instagram, it's on the video description down below. And for more movie and TV content just like this, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time.